So I just finished Spider-Man Remastered's third DLC, Silver Lining, and originally I wasn't going to make a video reviewing the DLCs because I had put all my reviews in the comment section to my Spider-Man review, but I said, you know what, I got more to say than just typing out everything, so why not make a video? So, that being said, starting from the beginning, the heist, I gave that DLC a 9 out of 10. As far as the DLC goes, it's entertaining enough. The music themes with Black Cat and all that was great, but I feel like we didn't get enough of her. Like, a cool idea for me would be, instead of like an MJ mission, we get something with Black Cat where we play as her maybe or something, with limited moveset of course, but nothing crazy. Just either way, a few more cutscenes with her and some extra stuff with her probably would have bumped the score up to a 10 out of 10 for me, but I also want to make it known that, 9 out of 10 for DLC is not comparable to the level of a 9 out of 10 for the actual game itself, because you got a full game versus like a portion that is an addition to the game, if that makes sense. I'm kind of bad at explaining that, but either way, a 9 out of 10 is great. So, moving on to Turf Wars. I loved getting more action with Yuri, and always want to see more of her. And the gameplay for each mission was solid, so the ending boss fight with Hammerhead was pretty nice. But other than that, once again, I wish we had more cutscenes, especially with Yuri. And my main problem with this DLC actually was the ending. So to me, it seemed kind of awkward, almost as if it was almost rushed or just not finished. Like, I know we get that to be continued. Obviously it's not finished. There's more to come. But I mean, like, they just were kind of, like, rushing their time and, like, okay, we're done. Let's end it here. So, like, it was not my favorite way that they ended it. I felt like there's just a little bit more story to be told in this DLC itself. But, I mean, especially how it just says, I already touched on this, to be continued, but, like, Yuri turns and looks at everybody after presumably murdering Hammerhead. And then it's just, that's it. So, yeah, I thought that cutscene was just kind of awkward. And by that point, I'm starting to see a trend here. While 9 out of 10 is a good score, it's just like, well, I'm pretty sure the next DLC will be a 9 out of 10 because I'm going to want all the same things that I'm not going to get. Which is, like I said, I can't say it enough. It's still a really good score. So, Turf Wars, 9 out of 10, good. So moving to Silver Lining, my prediction was actually wrong this time. Originally was going to be a 9 out of 10, but then I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and bump it down to an 8 out of 10. So this is the final DLC for Spider-Man Remastered. The story was fun, but maybe not as fun as the other two. And I can't really pin it all on this DLC because it was just throughout the whole game. Screwball challenges. I never found those fun, but I didn't think they were annoying by any means, not yet. After 3 more DLCs of playing it, I'm just like, okay, I'm so done with this character. I am not invested at all. I don't care. If I wasn't just trying to get most of the trophies, because I actually just now looked at all the trophies, and there's just some of them I'm not going to get, because if I didn't like playing them the first time around, why would I want to go through and get a spectacular or better or whatever? Like, I do not want to do that. So I most likely at least will not get all the trophies for this game, at least not anytime soon. Maybe when the time comes where I want to replay through the series, if ever, because I have so many more games on my backlog that, I got years of games to play right here. But that being said, if for whatever reason I ever return, then maybe. But I know there's a trophy for a New Game Plus, and so, yeah, that being said, maybe. But yeah, I really did not want to do them this time around. I almost just considered skipping them, but I'm like, no, because, I want to get these suits. So, if it wasn't for the suits, unlocking suits, I would have probably skipped them. I'd be like, fuck it. Fuck the trophy, I don't want it. But, yeah, I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'd rather do more MJ missions than any screwball missions. That's just me. But the story was still good. We got to see more of Silver Sable, and that was nice. We also got to see Black Cat return for a cutscene where she actually saves both of them, or at least she saves Spider-Man. I can't really remember, because the problem is I played these DLCs months apart, and then I even had like a break in between this DLC, where I was like over 50% done with it, but I had a break where I just wasn't playing my PlayStation, so it's kind of hard to remember. But I know we saw Black Cat, so I mean, obviously superhero game. She didn't die in the explosion, but in terms for me, I just had no idea. They didn't show her in the next DLC, Turf War, so I'm like, oh, maybe they're saving her or something. I don't know. But we got to see her, and we got one last goodbye, so that was nice. But, not nice enough to bump the score up. It is a cutscene. I'm glad we got that, though. I love me some cutscenes. But also, one of the problems, not enough cutscenes, in my opinion. But that's not the main problem here. It's just, the missions, they were solid for the most part. Doing stuff like going underneath the ground, like in the subway areas, I had problems with those areas. I would glitch out of the map. I'll show some gameplay. But, like, this game, the more I played it, the more glitches I found. And of course, I'm not looking for them. They just happen, which is, my friends are like, I've never had that happen, it's crazy. It's like, yeah, the game's still great, though. I will say I just did not care for this stuff, like the subway stuff and just fighting all the guys down there, especially when the rounds, like, I'd be on, like, round 3, and then I finally look over to see how many rounds I got to play through. I'm like, man, I got to play 3 more, like 6. I don't even want to play another round. So yeah, they just got stale to me, because overall this game, while the story is good and all that stuff, and the cutscenes are nice that we do get, it's just the same gameplay loop. It doesn't ever really change, except for when you do the MJ missions, and those are just boring in general, so it doesn't help its case. But yeah, this game is, I assume this is just how all these fighting, or how, all these, however you want to categorize this type of game, goes, because I don't play these for the most part, but it's just the same gameplay loop. To the point of even the animations for the executions, or whatever you want to call them, the takedowns, are boring to watch because it's the same thing over again. It's just like, So yeah, while I'm saying that, my score for the main game is still a 9 out of 10. The previous DLC is 9 out of 10, and then the final DLC an 8 out of 10. But the side mission where we get some, we find out that Yuri did some vigilante work of her own, was a nice touch. I liked it. I wish we could have got a cutscene for it, because here's the deal with this. So Yuri does vigilante work. She ends up killing this guy. It was a bad guy. So honestly, that's one thing with these superhero games. It's like you guys just need to realize you have to just kill these guys. You can't just leave them alive, because eventually they're going to escape, and you essentially just kill. You might as well just go up to a random civilian and just kill them on the streets, because it's like, once that guy gets out of prison or jail or something, he's gonna end up hurting others. So I'm with Yuri. I'm sure everybody would be. Fuck it. But so Spider-Man, it would have been cool to have a cutscene, because he's on the phone talking to her about this. But it would have been cool to see them both in person talking, because it'd be fun to watch Spider-Man, even though you can't see his face when he has his mask on. You could still tell it in his voice. Voice acting is great, but you could tell it that he'd be having mental battle with himself. He's like, hey, he tells Yuri, you can't be doing this, and she says she liked doing it. So you kind of, you can see that she's gonna do what she has to. You can just tell. So when he says to her, I don't want to come after you, and she says, do what you have to, I'll do what I have to. It's honestly pretty standard dialogue. You hear it in everything, but it's effective every time. And if we could have a cutscene where Spider-Man is conflicting with himself, saying, I don't want to, go after a friend, but at the same time, he doesn't believe it's right what she's doing. So it's like, to just let her walk away at that point would be hard for him. Not that hard, but it'd be better, in my opinion. And speaking of better, once again with cutscenes, Hammerhead. This time he's actually dead, I would believe, anyways. Silver Sable crashes a jet into something else that blows up. And he kind of walks out of the fire as if he has more fight left in him. Then he drops and dies. It's just a little bit of details here and there, but I wish he comes out of the fire and he has scuff marks, black scuff marks over his white metal armor suit. Why not have a piece of it hanging off, wire sticking out? Because it doesn't have to be gory or bloody or anything, but it's a robot, and essentially in anything with robots, ripping body parts off of them isn't bad. It's not considered gore. So like he don't even have to be leaking oil or anything. I'm just saying like maybe he has an arm missing, a piece of his legs dented or something. I don't know. Just make it. I mean, she had a jet crash into him into something else, and there was also an explosion. So like, I just wish we could have seen him come out and actually have a little bit of fight left, and we get a cutscene of them two fighting him. Because when you have animations and cutscenes of characters that you like fighting one, especially like a way bigger character, there's so much fun stuff you can do. Like the Doc Ock cutscene at the end of that main game was cool. So to have something like that here would have been even better, and for sure bump the score up back to a 9, or possibly 9.5 or 10. I don't know. Well, not a 10 because overall the gameplay that's just like eh. But no, really solid scores, really good scores. Really, I had a lot of fun playing. I'm actually not done with the game. I need to go back and play the main story because that's only 88% done. So just gotta do a lot of side stuff. But speaking of side stuff, Miles Morales. So without the knowledge of Spider-Man, not Miles Morales, I mean, I've never even seen a trailer on that game. But that being said, that's, keep this in mind. Without the knowledge of that game existing yet, I wish we could have seen some actual cutscenes with, Peter training Miles or something. I don't want to like do an actual training mission, but like, I'm just cutscenes. That's all I want. I love me some cutscenes. I mean, as if it hasn't been very painfully obvious by now, but like, it would have been cool to see some stuff similar to the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie, which I had a plan to make that video, like a review on those movies, because I had watched them one day. I was just like, I was actually, I owe it to this game, because I was like, you know what, I will watch this movie and give it a chance, because I was like, I don't fucking care, initially. I watched it, I was like, holy shit, this is one of the best Spider-Man movies I've ever seen. I mean, for me, the original trilogy will always be top, but Into the Spider-Verse was amazing. Maybe I still will make a video on that. It is a movie review anyways, but yeah, besides the point, that'll be sometime in the future. But yeah, I wish we could have seen more like Spider-Man training Miles, but like I said, I've not played Miles Morales. I know nothing about that game, and I'll get to see if that happens at all in that game. So, like I said, without the knowledge of that game, then we'll just see. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game, and like I said, I'm not done with it. I have to go back and complete that, because I mean, I've mentioned I'm a completionist, and I would love to get all the trophies, but there's just some trophies I do not want to go for, mainly the screwball ones. So that's just not gonna happen, at least not for a while. But regardless, I enjoyed every second of the game, even the annoying parts. And I cannot wait to finally move on to the next couple games, because, I mean, I really took my time, because this is not my primary console. And I definitely need to invest more time into the PlayStation, because, yeah, this game was fun, and I can't wait to play the other two. And with that, this concludes the DLC review video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Let's roll. They're on the move.